It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
How dare you?
Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. What's up, Cedro? What's up, Petro, Ankit, everybody else? Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm just gonna quickly burn some energy, and then, well, then we're gonna do some arena, because there's no Battlegrounds. You need Kingpin emoji? You need to talk with White Mommy about it then. You keep saying you need one, but you can't do you don't do anything about it. So you must not need it all that much. What's up, Biswas? How are you doing? Good evening. How is it going? You know, it's going all right. Bit by bit, day by day. Waiting for the end of this month. This is a real waiting month, isn't it? This is a real month where you kind of wait all the time. Even this monthly EQ is, you know, where you unlock it once a week and then you kind of wait for it to get it done. And we're obviously waiting for the compensation. We're waiting for the Eternity of Pain rewards. We're waiting for the July 4th. And 1 second, somebody's knocking on my door. So here we are, really addicted to BGs. Looks like Kabam finally did something right. Yeah, BGs are awesome. Well, they will be awesome, hopefully. Yeah. BGs just need few issues sorting out, one of whom is matchmaking. So I'm very hopeful that matchmaking is going to be better. And then we obviously have the modder issue. Primarily withdrawal issues, but I don't know what this missing a 6-star warlock. Why don't you grind for Hulkling? Well, thing is, if I want to grind for Hulkling, I need about 9,000 units probably, something like that. Or you know, $300, which I can't really afford to spend right now. Not to mention that I don't want to spend that much money for grinding a champion. OG Hulk the main man for the Act 616 Dawn Path. No, I think now there are plenty of other options. Hulkling is one of the options. I mean, OG Hulk can work as well. It's the Caustic Temper path, right? We have Hyperion. Aegon can do that path, I believe. Once you reach high enough combo. Aegon was one of the secret weapons for that path. I think Ghost is potentially very good. Quite a few other options there. You know, Medusa. Seeing Nick at the second position felt kind of emotional. I know, it did as well. Because Nick has been at the top of the skill class for so long. Hey, what's up, Doga Aksu? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we're gonna have fun, interesting stream today. But that also entirely depends on you. What are we going to discuss today? Thank you. No worries. You're welcome, man. Right. Right. Let's smash the Hulkling Nation. He has 2 pierce thingies. Okay, use it. Oh crap, I was too far away, so I had to save it. Ooh, whoa, I screwed this up. I swear to God, I did this fight flawlessly before. Anyways, he dead now. Some score Warlock. What is the score for Warlock? I actually don't know. What was the score for Hulkling? Can you guys fill me in? What was the cutoff for Hulkling? Talk about the no. I don't even know. What's that reference to? Did she do something again? Is it still about the G.I. Jane joke? She did something stupid again, didn't she? I mean, people like that always do stupid stuff. You're like 55 million for Warlock. Alright. Arena sucks, bring back BG. Well, they're apparently coming back in July. No, wait for what? Wait, for what? Wait, on what? Right, let's clap in the switch. If they're against the wall is special and under the power, you can launch straight into heavy tiger. Yeah, I know that. I often do that. I know. That's one of the cooler things about Tiger. Hey, what's up, Rick? How are you doing? Just, you know, need a bit more practice with Tiger. Well, cut off round 1 was 55 million and the guidance spot 50. Okay, so 55 million was round 1. That's not too bad for a Warlock, who's still an absolutely insane and amazing champion. And here we go. Eat that. And what was the Hulkling cutoff? What was the Hulkling's cutoff? So that I'm slowly accumulating some energy refills that I'm trying to save up. Because I have largely stopped energy refill farming since that now. 195, yeah. F that. Not grinding 195. Score. I'm not sure if it's gonna go down, to be honest. It could go either way, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down. I wouldn't also be surprised if it goes up slightly. Okay, let's get in some of the 6 stars here. About his son, Jaden Smith, he was in an interview and he was saying that during lunch breaks, kids were talking about cartoons and all, but he was like, dude, can we talk about what? Whatever. I don't care. I don't care about that family at all. Summer Appreciation calendar was free for everyone previously, and they monetized it partially last year. What's your opinion on this? What kind of items do you expect this year? I kind of expect them to do the same thing, where I wouldn't be surprised at all if they do monetize it to a degree. And what kind of items? I doubt it's going to improve significantly. That's the thing with Kabam. Whenever they do these things, when they initially release them, they're about as good as they will ever get. And then when they update them, they typically do a very crappy job. So, you know, I do expect... if it's like a Paragon calendar, for it to be some rank 4 material, stuff like that. But I don't expect much from these things, because virtually always it works out where if they do something new, like a Summoner Appreciation calendar or some special holiday calendar and stuff like that. What's the best example of this is, like, I think one of the Christmas calendars. Like 6 years ago, they gave us like a tier 2 alpha in that calendar, which was a very, very, very rare item at that point. People only typically had like 1 or 2 rank 4 5 stars. Yeah, so it was very rare. It was kind of like, it was more rare than it was about as rare as rank 4 6-star materials right now. And about 5 or 6 years ago, they actually gave it away to us for free. Yeah, in that Christmas calendar. But then the next year, it was still just the tier 2 alpha, even though they had become a lot more common. And then the year after, it was still just the tier 2 alpha, even though they were worth, you know, 1/10 of what they were worth 3 years ago. And then the next year, they added some tier 5 basic fragments and still only kept the 1 tier 2 alpha, or maybe they upped it to 2, but at that point, they were worth like virtually nothing. So Kabam has that tendency where they do something very nice and very impressive, and then when they bring it back, it just seems like a shittier version of it. You know, you can say the same thing about Eternity of Pain event. You know, Summer of Pain was 10 times better than Eternity of Pain was. you can say the same thing about most of these kind of like calendars and things like that. And most of the events, and even like rifts, for instance, when they introduced rifts for the first time in the game, the top items were like really valuable. Like you had a chance at a 5-star awakening gem, and a lot of people got it and stuff like that. And back then they were worth a lot. And now they have brought back rifts like 9 or 10 times, but you know, they haven't. What's the best way to put it? Back when they added 5-star awakening gems in the rifts for the first time, it was about as worth as a 6-star awakening gem now. But we have had a crap ton of these monthly events, and we have never had a 6-star awakening gem. You know what I mean? When they typically do something for like the first time, they have like the flair, the excitement, stuff like that, and then they just kind of like like, I don't know, lunar event, for instance, those red envelopes, they haven't updated those envelopes in like 4 years or 5 years. So, you know, obviously 4 years ago everything in those envelopes was way better, and now when that event is, you know, only thing you really kind of hope for it is like loyalty. Like when the first time gave us those red envelopes, having like, you know, any 5-star shards was like really valuable. Now it still has only like the 888 5-star shards or something like that, and you know, you don't even care about 5-star shards anymore. So they're often kind of just not on top of it, and you see it in more areas of the game as well. Like again, when Summoner Advancement first started, it was quite literally the biggest amount of rewards that you could earn ever, right? And then they didn't update them for like 4 years, to a point where nobody cared about Summoner Advancement. Initially, Summoner Advancement was one of those events that, you know, a lot of alliances forced you to save up all your crystals for 1 week to open them all the next week, because if your alliance wasn't active enough, you didn't quite qualify for the good rewards every week. So alliances basically figured out how they can at least qualify for those good rewards every other week. You know what I mean? And similar, like 3-day events, they do update the rewards for them. It's like 3 years too late, and when they do end up updating them, you know, they don't make them super impressive, so to say. And you know, part of it is fine, because, you know, we get more things in the game and more avenues of earning the rewards, so you kind of expect that some of the things that used to matter more don't matter as much anymore. A good example would, I guess, be AW rewards. You know, when Alliance War Seasons initially came out, it was virtually the only game mode where you could earn like tier 5 basics? I think it was tier 5 basics. And that was like super rare. Like you couldn't even purchase them with like offers and stuff like that, and it was like really valuable. And Alliance War was like a huge focus for a ton of alliances. Now with the addition of different game modes, different events, even Alliance War has, you know, remained the same game mode. The significance of playing that game mode has drastically dropped. Like you don't have to play Alliance War, and you can still be you know, earning top tier rewards, and you're not gonna lose that much. As a good example right now is New Nation's gonna finish somewhere in Masters top 10, but monthly event quest is gonna give us more rank 4 materials. You know, the Alliance War is just nowhere near as important as it used to be. And you know, it's just a changing in economy. It's like back when Summoner Advancement was the biggest rewards set deal kind of thing. We didn't have, you know, 3-day events and stuff like that, so they kind of give us the illusion that they give us way more rewards, but they actually don't. They just add in different things where we earn these rewards, but the total amount of value that we earn hasn't that drastically shifted over the time. If that makes sense. I hope it does. Like for instance, you know, what's the best way to put it? If you put monetary value 5 years ago on Summoner Advancement rewards, let's say $100, then because the game economy changes, today, let's say 2 years later, Summoner Advancement rewards are worth $50, but they have added another event where we can get another $50 worth of rewards. So we end up getting the same $100 just from different sources. I hope that kind of explains it. You think the score will go down because it's... No, I don't. It doesn't always go down. Okay. When rank 4 solos... I actually don't have that footage. I think it's stuck with Oliver. I'm gonna PM Oliver. Excited for tech list. I'm excited to make it. I'm actually, you know, all of these lists are always somewhat controversial, but they're also very good for my own brain to kind of, you know, go over the champions in the class and pay them closer attention. Answer my 6-star Hercules. Yeah, that is the 6-star rank 4 SIG 200, so thank you. Talk about lunar event, that should get to my nerves. I'd be happy if they just updated cow crystals to Paragon crystals. Yeah, well, you're forgetting Thronebreaker crystals. I'm just saying, if they're gonna update those crystals, it's not gonna be to Paragon crystals, it's gonna be to Thronebreaker ones. Looking for Alliance back then, SA score was yeah, exactly. SA score was like one of the things that Alliances advertised next to their prestige and stuff like that. It used to be that big of a deal, which obviously it isn't that anymore. IQ is almost worthless right now. I wouldn't say that IQ is almost worthless because Glory still holds a lot of value. If you look at the Tier 5 Basic and Tier 2 Alphas that you earn from Alliance Quest directly, yeah, it's not the biggest thing. But the Glory still kind of carries quite a lot of value. Because Glory works as a, you know, a duct tape for your account. Because you can choose how to use your Glory. And then you can, you know, easily get the resources that you are lacking. If you need more Tier 2 Alphas, you can get like 5 Tier 2 Alphas from Glory a week extra, which isn't nothing. If you need Tier 5 Basics, you can get some Tier 5 Basics there. If you need Tier 4 class Catalyst Crystals, you can get 7 of those now there. You know what I mean? And Glory is like the most versatile currency, you know, aside from units. Overall, I'd say. Because, yeah, and, you know, but the rank rewards and stuff like that, yeah, I think they are outdated. I also think that even map 8 crystals are, you know, quite irrelevant now. You know, they don't really give you much of anything, especially compared to Paragon crystals. Man, they made Paragon crystals so OP that virtually all the other rewards compared to those kind of seem inconsequential. Like, honestly, the amount of rewards that you can earn in a day and how much value it represents entirely depends on how good your Paragon crystal roll is. Because, you know, you can get a Tier 4 Basic in there, which, you know, isn't worth much, or half a Tier 2 Alpha, or Tier 4 class Catalyst, you know, which is okay, I suppose. But at the same time, for instance, today I got 9,000 Tier 5 class Catalyst Crystal Shards. And yesterday I got a full Tier 5 Basic, I think, or half Tier 5 Basic. So, you know, getting a Tier 5 Basic randomly for free, it's such a huge thing. It's like 40 times more, or 30, something like that, than the Tier 5 Basic frags you get from a, you know, a daily event or something like that. There's just such a huge variance on your total daily rewards earning based on that Paragon daily crystal. It's quite crazy. How much do you think you'll be start getting 6-star Awakening Gems monthly events? I don't think that's gonna happen all that soon. We don't even get 5-star Awakening Gems every month, you know, or that often. Yeah, so I don't think we're gonna start getting them that soon. Had another troll name shadow stream. They never get tired. They never will get tired, you know. I'm not bothered. Let them troll. Why duping the 6-star gets only 24 ISO bricks? So you would be short an ISO, obviously. And you know, it's just another one of those kind of like artificial breaks on the contest. Awaken Nimrod from Daily Paragon Crystal. Nice, congratulations. I have not gotten a 6-star yet from my Paragon dailies. I have gotten like 5,000 6-star shards, but I have gotten a couple of full Tier 5 basics. I have gotten a lot of Tier 5 class Catalyst crystal shards. I think 3 times I got 20%, not the 10%. So I think about 3 times I have gotten the 9,000 shards. Like today I got 9,000 science shards, and I think yesterday I got 4,500 cosmic shards. Hey, what's up, Stroking? Mr. Saber. Last time strikers came, they were using special effects. This time, 5-hit combo. I mean, Kabam, I don't think they have like a full plan how to do the striker thing. Honestly, I don't even like strikers. They kind of mess with the fight rhythm. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Like, if they never arrived to the game, I'd be perfectly fine with it. I once opened... Yeah, I have opened some full TFI basics from Thronebreaker crystals as well. But the difference is you get TFI basic more often in the Paragon crystal than you did in Thronebreaker one. And the biggest difference is that you either get half a TFI basic or a full one. And in Thronebreaker crystal you get 4,500 shards or a full one. Boom! Eat that, Neymar. So you're placing Nimrod in second spot instead of Warlock in your attack list? Maybe, who knows? Don't give me any ideas. Stop trying to influence me. But yeah, no, Nimrod is shredding stuff. Then again, Warlock also is crazy. We'll see what I figure out. We'll see how it goes. Who this man? Oh, shut up. Messiah. Shut up! There we go. Special to Messiah.
You should clone yourself. Why's that? So you can go fuck yourself.
Battlegrounds confirmed delayed? Nah, they haven't. You can suck on it. Strikers are better suited for champion builds like Rocket, bringing in Groot. Yeah, like, yeah, I kind of agree. Like, you know, in general, I just don't... I don't know, I'm not feeling strikers that much. Like, I mean, we'll see how they implement them, but so far where, you know, in every fight you can use that striker stuff, it just seems kind of weird. I'd be all for if, you know, there is a striker that you can equip to, you know, few champions, not all champions, and that kind of cover specific, you know, problems with the champion kit. That I'd kind of like. Or donate, but I've never been in Shadow Stream. I'll take the high ground. Well, you know the rules about changing the name. I'm all up for changing the name. But I shall not be held hostage to demands like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm not completely trying to dish strikers off, but it kind of will entirely depend how Kabam implements them. I was primarily talking about how I like them, you know, so far from kind of gameplay perspective and how it alters fight mechanics and stuff like that. And with that, you know, I'm just, you know, not the most impressed, so to speak. And it was 5-star for reaching level 60. Alright. I mean, reaching level 60 doesn't... I don't know. I have kind of a... skewed perspective of that. Because I haven't had to reach level 60 in a while. But I do think it's not that difficult. I might misremember. The key of reaching higher levels quite quickly is just to play story content. Story content awards by far the best amount of XP per fight, especially in like Act 4 and Act 5. You can earn a ton of XP very fast there. Come on. Man, that Hercules is lively. I shouldn't have brought Heimdall for this fight today. Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude. Uncollected, you know what I mean? Still have plenty to go. Uncollected just means that you have completed 5.2 let alone start exploring it. You know, explore Act 5 and you're gonna be level 60. Explore Act 5, put on some XP boosts, sorted. So like, not trying to be mean like at all, but it's not like uncollected is some sort of end destination. Uncollected is, you know, very early stop in this MCOC bus ride, so to speak. We need hard content so the seconds are actually useful. Yeah, that's true. You know, in monthly event quest, you know, there's, yeah, it just seems unnecessary at this point. So you can cheat that more down, but not Falcon or Kingpin. Stupid Gamal. What are you talking about, Ankit? Look at that, Messiah is coming in with a single $1.
Messiah 66.99.
Hey, what's up, Zero? How are you doing? Nice to see you. Hope to see you more often. Where are you in morning streams these days, huh? All the new things Kabam wants to bring were so basic with Injustice 1. My name is Injustice Game. I have never played it. Hey, what's up, Nyan? How are you doing? And speedsters and champs like Nick Fury. Oh, well, I mean, each game kind of develops differently. I'm sure MCOC had plenty of things they didn't have before. Playing Devil's Advocate with the lack of Thronebreaker Paragon rewards updating, Kabam has to primarily focus on bringing more new players rather than maintaining players they know will stay. Yeah, I mean, they always do that anyways, don't they? Think of it like a bell curve. They need to focus more on the efforts and bring. Yeah, I understand what you mean, and I have made videos of that in the past as well, where, you know, from business standpoint, it does make sense, and it does seem a lot like they are doing it. But if they nail Battlegrounds, then many of their problems are just gonna go away. With the less strikers have synergies with champs, with the less sense against relics would be a better setup. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that. I think, just yeah, I would actually enjoy that more, I think. Where am I from? I'm from Latvia. G slow stops await, but Falcon or Kingpin it doesn't stop more await. Well, I suppose that's something to do with the slow working differently. Because even though slow is worded as ability accuracy reduction, the fact that it works on the node that prevents ability accuracy reduction kind of means that that slow is working differently from just AAR. Unification. You suck. And hey, what's up, Dinosaur? How are you doing? On the process of my food poisoning, but that's low at the moment. The process of what? Your favorite champ at the moment, excluding Carnage. Absolutely love playing with Man-Thing, Maulman, I-Hulk. Yeah, those are very, very fun. What's up, Grindfeld? How are you doing? Do my 1-star She-Hulk for 6.2 champion. You can do it with 1-star She-Hulk, yeah. I think I did that fight at some point with a 5-star rank 3 She-Hulk. Initially. You think arena rewards need an update? The battle chips amount? No. This one thing I do not particularly. I think arena rewards need update in terms of rank rewards and amount of 6 stars and 5 stars given out. Yeah. But I do not find particular issue with milestone rewards and how many battle chips you earn and how many units you earn and stuff like that. In fact, I feel that right now you can earn more units and more battle chips easier than you could, you know, before the previous arena changes. So, you know, I don't think that they have to drastically increase it, because if they would increase the amount of units in arena, that would very drastically alter the game economy, which is, again, a change that can't be taken lightly. Because, what's the best way to put it? It's kind of the same thing if they significantly buff, for instance, the Cav crystals, and instead of Cav crystals we're gonna have Thronebreaker crystals, and there's gonna be much better odds and that stuff. Everybody wants it on paper, but what nobody understands it would even further increase and widen the gap in between haves and have-nots. As a good example, if they increase the arena milestone rewards and I can earn, you know, double the amount of units by doing all the milestones and double the amount of battle chips, then all the people who can easily and consistently grind out all the milestones on a weekly basis will benefit from that significantly more than people with moderate accounts, for instance, or people who have busier daily lives. And that will simply mean that person who already has much bigger account and much better potential to earn crap in the game, will increase it way more. And so the end result might be where, you know, let's say, spitting out a number, let's say I grind 1,500 units a week and you grind 500 units a week. If they increase the amount that you earn in arena by, you know, double, then instead of 500 units, you're going to earn 1,000 units. But at the same time, I'm going to earn 3,000 units. And that means that I'm going to be able to afford significantly more of it. It's similar, you know, and that's the same problem is with, you know, if they take out 3 stars and double the champion odds, you know, in cav crystals. You will think it's a great thing, but let's say you're a player that opens around 10 cav crystals a week. But let's say me with my bigger account, or Messiah with his bigger wallet or something like that, opens 30 cav crystals a week. He's gonna, again, benefit from that way more than you do. So whenever it comes with these kind of like infinitely earnable, farmable opening materials in the game, you always have to be very careful. So yeah, again, you know, there's a significant player base that can't grind every milestone in every arena. And even though I technically would have time, even I don't do that. You know, it's very rare when I get all the milestones in, you know, the lowest 4-star arena and stuff. And if they drastically increase that, again, it's going to entirely change the entire game economy. and you know, some people will obviously like it, but many people will be left further behind. So all of these changes, I'm not saying no, none of them should happen. What I'm saying is that all of them need to be much more carefully planned out and thought out than people realize. Whether that is improving the crystals and, you know, getting rid of 3 stars in cow crystals and stuff like that. Because, you know, there's again going to be very huge, you know, difference to how it affects players. And like, again, you think, oh, if there would be no 3 stars in those crystals, you know, I would have a better ISO situation. At the same time, people who already were ahead of you will just run away from you even further, because, you know, they're gonna have, let's say, so much ISO, then they will be able to sell it for gold, and they will never have gold issues, and they will be able to buy AQ tickets with only gold, for example, and they will never have to sacrifice loyalty or anything else for AQ tickets, and therefore they will be able to use those resources to, I don't know, focus on Alliance War and Alliance War potions and stuff like that, and because of it they will get better rewards in Alliance War. And you see how all of these things are connected. So, like, this game does have fairly complex economy, and obviously Kabam has largely destroyed and, you know, over monetized a lot of aspects of it, but changes that you guys want to happen would have, you know, even further and worse effect half the time. So again, yeah, things like this just need to be kind of planned out. And again, I'm not saying that, you know, none of it should happen or there is no way to work, you know, some systems in it. But again, it's just not as easy as people think. Yeah, let's discuss how Nick Fury is the #1 skill in the game right now, because Kingpin is. Simple discussion. You know Goku Super Saiyan? Yes, I know Goku. Do you think okay, answer that. 5-star rollout was better than 6-star. Yeah, 5-star rollout is definitely much better than 6-star. And then, you know, the biggest shock to the system and biggest impact that a lot of people don't realize was definitely the introduction of Grandmaster and especially cav crystals in the game. And people don't understand how much it changed the game in general. Again, back in the day, you know, mine and Brian's accounts were actually like relatively similar, for example. I had a better account than Brian because I did spend, but Brian grinded way more and I pretty much never grinded. And with that, you know, Brian was able to kind of like keep up more or less, and he had legitimately an actual top 10, top 15 kind of alliance account. He had a very, very competitive account. But then within a year of cow crystals being introduced, you know, there was day and night difference in between kind of like a top 10, top 15 alliance account and Brian's account. And that was purely the result of cow crystals. And you know, ultimately, up to this date, cow crystals have been like the worst thing for the game balance if you want to look at it from, you know, free-to-play, low-spending player perspective and kind of like whaley players perspective. Fun question. How many units do you think you have spent switching your masteries? I don't know, tens of thousands at this point. A lot. Having terrible bout of food poisoning at the moment, meaning I ate something must have... Oh, that sounds horrible, man. That sounds like a miserable time. I hope you get well, man. Didn't update the units, but the gold issue is a pure pain sometimes. And again, gold economy in itself, I think, is the easiest one that is to regulate. Because there are so many avenues people acquire gold, and virtually anything you do in this game gives you gold. It is super easy to address it. If Kabam wanted to, but obviously they do it on purpose, so it's not gonna happen. Like, even when you spend questing energy, you get gold. Have you noticed that? Virtually every action in this game can let you earn gold. So, Volodya, how are you doing? Kingpin and Mallman, Shang-Chi, he's just better than Nick. No, I wouldn't say Shang-Chi is better than Nick, and with Mallman we could argue. Kingpin, I think, at the moment is better than Nick, yes. Great. Chatted Messiah. I mean, you can't disagree, Messiah, that at the moment... Okay. At the moment, Kingpin is at the top of the skill class. He is the skill champion that's the go-to for more people than Nick is. Offensively, Kingpin has done more for everybody in Act 7. Offensively, Kingpin is doing much more in Alliance War than Nick Fury is. He was doing more in Battlegrounds, and he is also more popular, like AQ options, stuff like that. You know, again, it's as I said, Nick might have the stats and abilities on paper, but none of them really matter if you can't connect them. Worst example of that would be, you know, Proxima. Proxima has some fucking amazing abilities, and but fact of the matter is that Proxima just doesn't have anywhere where to really land them, and or you know, there are kind of better alternatives. And Nick obviously doesn't have the same type of problem as Proxima, but when it comes to offensive use champions, you know, people are passing Nick in virtually every important game mode at the moment. More often than not, I'd say. Obviously that he still does things, it's not like he's unusable for anything. But Kingpin is the go-to option for way more people. Don't fucking compare no, but what I'm comparing is, you know, you can compare the idea that, you know, Proxima on paper has this insane damage, like 1000% increased special attack, and she deals with so many nodes because she reduces opponent's ability accuracy on blocking, and that has a ton of different applications. You know, even if you're not talking strictly about the damage, you're talking about that Proxima, you know, being able to bypass masochism, Proxima being able to bypass crap kinetic transference and stuff like that. And that is a very, very powerful ability. But it just doesn't quite translate to the game where, you know, we use different champions. So, I just... King Chin is number one. Complete part of this is either worth it? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you need to unlock both, but, you know. In general, I would say use both or nothing. Maybe if you don't have 100% health after you'll only get skilled. I Nick Fury's number one skill, but playing 30% much damage suck. Well, there you go. Great defense. Oh yeah, Kingpin is... Sorry, both of them are great defenders, Malgans, to be honest. Kingpin definitely is a good defender as well. Yeah, 4-star arena just needs so much effort. You're absolutely right. Kingpin needs synergy at his highest. Well, again, Kingpin has a synergy. He doesn't need it to be amazing, you know. how often when you play Kingpin, you know, for instance, Kingpin was literally one of the best attackers in Battlegrounds. And no synergies there, you know. It's not like, you know, he absolutely must have. Like, it's just, if you do have that synergy, there are some additional things that he can do. With that argument, you know, Nick Fury needs to get killed first in order to be at his best. No, what the fuck does that mean? Stupid argument. Next on the side. Okay, we still up there, we think, when there's no debuffs involved. Well, yeah, I think so. Synergy is least important for him. Yeah, Hood synergy is actually not important at all in most cases. The sinister one that enables him to do more stuff. Wondering in your opinion on the chatter about ISO8 and D69 shelling, do you consider it cheating? I don't consider it cheating, I just consider it in poor taste. It's not against the rules, you know? If it would be like cheating, then Kabam would have banned all of them and stuff like that. It's just that it's a loophole. It's, you know, in my opinion, unethical. There is a good reason why majority of the alliances have stopped doing it, and you know, why New Nation, even if, you know, even if we could end up getting better rewards by shelling, New Nation will still never do it because it's just a shitty thing to do. And, you know, back in the day, initially, when, you know, everybody was doing it, it was kind of considered normal. Then, you know, it had different attitude towards it. It was still a shitty thing to do. But, you know, as times changed, it kind of just even feels shittier and shittier when, you know, most of the top tier alliances have just kind of decided to play fair and square in that sense. And then we have alliances who are still, like, you know, working hard to get every last, you know, crystal shard or catalyst fragment and stuff like that. So, you know, what's the best way to put it? I don't think it's cheating. I don't think anybody needs to get banned. I do think that rules need to be adjusted. I do think that I would never want to join an alliance who does that. It's just a shitty thing to do. It's kind of like, you know, not all... What's the best way to put it? You know, you don't have to do something illegal to be a cunt. You don't need to break rules to be an asshole. That's what it is, you know? When, you know, some things are technically legal, but extremely, extremely shitty things to do. That's how I look at shelling. And, you know, it's... And at the end of the day, again, you know, you can be angry at people who are doing it, but ultimately, where the responsibility lies, it lies with Kabam. It's their game, they're making the rules, and, you know, if they are not changing the rules, if they are not doing anything to stop it, you know, then, you know, that's on them. Much more, in my opinion, than it is on the alliance who actually do it. Again, that being said, I still wouldn't want to join an alliance who does it, but it's a Kabam thing. Kabam has to fix it. The rule thing. It's kind of like in a sports competition where, you know, one team or a couple teams find like a very annoying loophole and abuse it to win. You know, they're assholes for doing it, but it's up to the whatever organizer of that competition is to adjust the rules. And synergy, if you don't. Oh, look at that, Messiah is butthurt today. Wondering, okay, there you go. Ansling, Head Grandmaster, and Cow Crystal getting new gems. Yeah, there you go. Well, when you get more champions, then it's going to be harder to get new champions. Like, it's almost impossible for me to open a crystal now and get a new champion. Oh. Yeah, exactly. You know, back in the day when it was like 4-star rank 5 was the highest rank up, me and Brian had, you know, relatively similar amount of those champions. I had some more rank 5 4-stars and stuff like that, but it wasn't like a huge difference. Now Brian has like 18 rank 3s and I have like 70, you know. It's like 3 times that. There's a huge difference. So yeah, and that's, you know, because of the way the game is monetized right now. There are too many TFIBs in your overflow. We'll start using them. What's up, Chill Brackets? How are you doing? Poisoning isn't great. Yeah, I know. I have had food poisoning in the past. It's horrible. Framing that Kingpin is top skill champion game in my house. I'm gonna show all of my friends. Fair enough, Anki. Fair enough. You know, by the way, it's still just my opinion. Just because I say somebody is, in my opinion, the best skill champion in the game, it doesn't mean it's a fact. You know, it's still a discussion. It's an opinion. That says Kingpin rank 4. Mine says Thor rank 4 because prestige. Yeah, well, I had to make that choice, and I did end up going with Thor Ragnarok. Still don't understand why they created Proxima. Yeah, I know. I can never understand that either. You know, Proxima is like 5 years in the game, and in 5 years they haven't created a single game mode or a quest or an event where you can fully unleash Proxima properly. Not a single time. Yeah, Proxima and Chorus release is definitely very funny in hindsight. Nick Fury is way more useful than Kingpin for defense. I mean, Nick Fury is very, very useful, but actually Kingpin in many instances was better because of his shrug of abilities. And there were definitely plenty of situations where Kingpin was more devastating on defense than Nick Fury could have been. But that being said, I agree. Overall, Nick Fury, I think, in my opinion, was the best defender in Battlegrounds, period. But at the same time, you know, Kingpin was way, way, way better offensively and still a great defender. Kingpin doesn't need a synergy team. You're an idiot if you think that he needs a synergy team. You know, Kingpin needs a synergy team in a similar sense that, I don't know, Hercules needs a synergy team. If you synergize Hercules, there will be some more fights that he can do. For instance, I don't know, give him an armor break and all of a sudden he can inflict debuffs and do, you know, extra fights and extra nodes. And, you know, you can't, but you wouldn't say that Hercules absolutely needs to have a synergy in order to be useful. No, same thing with Kingpin. Having a synergy helps Kingpin do more fights, but he already does a crap ton of fights. You know, it's the same with a ton of different champions in a game who you would never say that they need to have a synergy. You're just being, you know, specifically nitpicky and intellectually dishonest there. Kind of like, you know, like saying that Ghost absolutely needs to have a Hood synergy. When in reality, Ghost with no synergies is an incredible champion and is still one of the, if not the best champion in the game with her base abilities. Yes, Hood synergy allows Ghost to do extra fights, but she doesn't need them, especially if you have like learned how to use special attacks, you know, without Wasp synergy, which is fairly easy, I think. You know, again, in Battlegrounds, you know, Ghost is one of the best attackers for most of the metas, right? No synergies there. And obviously, since, you know, she didn't have the Hood synergy, she couldn't tank level 3s, or there were some fights she couldn't do. It doesn't mean that, you know, she wasn't still an amazing, amazing offensive option. So just trying to be, again, purposely misleading to, you know, push Kingpin. Again, facts are, right now, as far as I'm concerned, Kingpin is used way more competitively in Alliance War, in Alliance Quest. In last, you know, story content, Kingpin was way more useful to most people because of how he tackles nodes. In Battlegrounds, he was a way better attacker than Nick Fury. And I love Nick Fury. Nick Fury is amazing, but even I have to admit right now that having both of those champions to rank 3, Kingpin is way more useful currently in the game. Might not be like that forever. You know, there might be more champions that Nick Fury is better at countering, and there might be more game modes that Nick Fury turns out to be good for. For instance, I don't know, Alliance raids come in and it turns out Nick Fury is amazing there and stuff like that. The game changes, but right now, Kingpin is definitely way more useful than Nick Fury. Hood and Jaw are great champs now? Yeah, that is true. What is shelling swapping down to... basically tanking once, basically having 2 alliances. What's shelling mean? Shelling means that you have 2 alliances, and whilst your team plays a season in one alliance, you purposely lose all of your season wars with the other alliance that has like mini and baby accounts in it. And then you lower your alliance war rating. And then when the season ends, all of your teams swap places with the alliance that has a lower war rating right now. And you do that so you would be playing with a lower alliance war rating and get easier matches and matchups. So that's pretty much that. It's kind of, I don't know, you know, finding a specific workaround in order to guarantee yourself easier opponents in Alliance War for the upcoming season. Okay, chat, it's not a stupid argument. Just let's follow Kingpin more than Kingpin. Mole is better than Kingpin. Well, Mole is better than Kingpin when you run Liquid Courage Double Edge. I still agree on that. I think when you're running Liquid Courage Double Edge, Mole is better. What am I spending my units on? At the moment, nothing. In general, I don't know. Sometimes I am weak in spirit and I open some cow crystals, which is a stupid thing to do. Most of the time, I use my units to buy some offers that are decent. That's about it. Most of the time, I use them to buy in-game offers that are quite decently good. What do you do after Cavalier? Become Thronebreaker. Simple. Did you die this season in Alliance War? Yes. I had a very shitty first war when I was traveling. Actually, the first death was bullshit as well. And then I did a stupid thing where I took a fight I shouldn't have. But the first death was because I had crap ton of input issues and connection issues, and my champion just kind of started doing whatever. So I had a horrible first war where I died twice. And then I died once in War 9, I think. So I have 3 deaths this season, which is, you know, shit. Okay. Hey, what's up, Deathstroke? Just met the Shell Master Alliance. Nice, lol. Of course it's nice. Empty map. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. Hey, what's up, JJ? How are you doing? Listen to my ISO lock. I needed science ISO open 5 dual core crystals and 5. Well, that the game knows. The game knows. I opened once, I think, 30 tier 4 class catalyst crystals looking for 1 skill catalyst, and with 0 skill catalyst out of 30 tier 4 CCs. You know, Kabam does this stuff on purpose. Did I know cheese stun? Yeah, I knew that cheese stun bypasses Limber. Who didn't? Everybody knows that. Aegon's level 3 stun bypasses Limber as well, and there are quite a few others. I'll pass you on rank 3. You have passed me on what? Oh, past me. Yeah, you probably have. Top Free Fire. Sorry, game Kenty. Okay, restart my game. Fine, I'll restart my game. Okay, after these fights, I'll restart my game. I'll restart it. Which is very useful champion for Thronebreaker? Well, there's loads of them. What do you have is the most important question. What's this energy correction just got? I don't know. I think it's the energy refill bug or something. Okay, you don't say that name. Don't say which name. Which name did I say? Almoron? Or something else? Martial Alliance, Jumps Alliance. Yeah, there you go. You piqued my interest in Stealthy. Well, test him out with Scorpion. Check out the showcase that I uploaded. Stealthy with Scorpion Synergy. It's crazy. Energy correction thingy progression based? I do not know. I don't. Game wasn't great dependent on Bujimo. He's just tanky. I don't know. I used Kingpin on defense fair amount of times because it just so happened that most of the champions used in Battlegrounds quite often relied on some sort of debuffs or debuff damage. And Kingpin absolutely destroyed them. There were like many situations where, you know, opponents' best offensive options are like Immortal Abomination or, you know, champions like that. And Kingpin just tears through that stuff. So for me, Kingpin definitely put in a ton of work on defense as well. Used him quite often on defense. And also the fact that he was tanky enough, just let him delay opponents for long enough. Rank for Kitty or rank for Mole, man, running Suicides? Well, it's up to you. Both of them are amazing rank ups. I think I'd personally probably go with Mole, man, but Kitty is also very alluring rank up. You know, I'd probably kind of use a tiebreaker depending on which class rank ups I haven't done yet. So in my case, I'd probably pick Kitty, just because I don't have a mutant rank 4 yet. But if that would be my first rank 4 and I didn't care for prestige, I'd probably go Mole Man. I don't know. And then if you okay, that's it. That's not a great argument though, is it? Or knew Shang-Chi was gonna... No, Shang-Chi is not gonna be my first skill rank 4. But we kind of know what spend on energy. Let's check out that compensation. Diablo no good without ouchies. No, Diablo is still very good without ouchies. Why not just found out that Obama is sus? Obama is sus is behind all the troll accounts. Okay, interesting. Organized will empty, nothing. Yeah, I know. Without Battlegrounds, the entire game feels empty. It really does. Okay, so here we go. Okay. To rank up first. Hercules, CGI, no suicides, and both unduped. Oh. No suicides, both unduped. Huh. Probably go with... I don't know. I think I'd go with CGI. My alliance rank up Batman and now broken. And how... Still can't convince. Well, you know, your alliance missing out then. Don't stress on it. It's their loss. Since now Orions get... To complete all milestones from now in arenas, can I get 1.5k units? Yeah. Yeah, you can get 1.5k units in like 1 week if you open battle chips as well. You know, with a relatively casual grind without even getting all of the milestones, just, you know, doing the daily events and grinding, you know, most of the milestones in the arena and stuff like that. In 1 week, you can relatively normally earn close to 2,000 units, unless you get very unlucky with battle chips. That is like, if you open all the battle chips, you know, grind the arenas quite a bit, not a ton, but, you know, like 3 hours a day or something. And stuff like that. You can get like 2,000 units a week fairly easily. The skill, the skill champ that ruined your childhood. Energy correction, okay. Okay, cool, look at that. Oh, I need a few of these. Recently experienced some issues regarding energy consumption due to recent update. Oh, this is just a... Oh, that's nice. Cool, I like that. Something. 10 energy refills. That's something. Hey, what's up, K-Dog? How are you doing? Once. Didn't read this time. Hey, what's up, Biswas? Welcome to the stream. In Discord about the stream. Ooh. Okay, let's get back to arena. Through the labyrinth. I'm probably not gonna do that in a bit. I like that you can replace these now once a day. Hey, what's up, Buddy Lee? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Got same as Thronebreaker? Well, there you go. Are they progression based? I don't know. Speaking of, here is Nicholas J. Fury. But you know, obviously it's still absolutely check mail. I just did. I got... Doesn't seem to be progression based. Alright. Look at that. Messiah hates this entire stream, but he's still Chad of the stream. Same for everyone? Yeah, fair enough. Still, you know, 10 refills, cool. Asking if Shang was first rank for skill. Oh, yeah, fair enough. I actually had a little tumble today, a little mishap. So we got kind of like an you know, extension, so we can clean upstairs windows, because our windows got quite dirty. So it's kind of like a mix of oh crap. It's kind of like a mix of, you know, a squeegee and also like a mop for windows, so you can kind of like clean them at the same time, and then it comes with like quite long extension. Anyways, long story short, so it's cleaning windows today for our house, and I tripped over and I fell on some concrete blocks and stuff that we were moving because we're doing garden. And yeah, that was nasty. Scraped my hand and twisted my ankle a bit and stuff like that. So I'm kind of banged up a bit now. You know, nothing too crazy, you know. It's not gonna end my life or anything like that, but I'll probably be limping for a bit. Lost Shadow stream is mad, literally troll overlord. What's happening there? Anyway, about 40 compensation. Let's try to get dogpiled and derailed. I don't know, probably. You know, every other thread gets dogpiled and derailed. Doesn't matter what you say. Is Hercules a decent alternative to Aegon Abyss? I haven't tried it. Could work. Kind of depends what setup you run, but you know, he's definitely not as good as Aegon is. And Aegon was so good in Abyss, not just because of like damage output, and that's the thing for a lot of people don't understand. Aegon was good for it because of that, you know, evade prevention, the fact that you could get out of a ton of a single revive, and you know, a bunch of other things. So it kind of depends on which matchups you go, probably. I'm sure that, you know, some of the fights Hercules can do, you know, about as well as Aegon can. But I'm sure that there are plenty of fights that Herc can't do. What would I hold? Which champion I find very interesting to use these days? Still Man-Thing, Carnage, iHulk. Oh, absolutely love those guys. I actually love using Silver Surfer a lot. I use Silver Surfer almost every day in Alliance Quest, and I really enjoy playing him. He's Silver Surfer was one of those very pleasant surprise champions where he really also kind of showcased a ton of his worth in Battlegrounds as well. Just was yet another one of those champs where, you know, he might not be the first option you pick from every champion in your deck for a lot of fights, but when you have to work with whatever you have, he was surprisingly good. Like, he was a really good counter for Killmonger, he was amazing counter for Bishop and Havoc and a ton of other, you know, he was one of the fastest Penny killers. Like, there was hardly anybody who could kill Penny Parker faster than Silver Surfer. It's so good. Better iHulk or Ham? For what? You know, whenever, you know, you kind of overall think better, then you also need to always ask yourself, like, better for what? And which things matter to you more? Why Man-Thing? Man-Thing, because try playing Man-Thing with MD5. It's basically literally special 1 heavy attack, special 1 heavy attack, special 2 heavy attack, 1 combo, special 1 heavy attack. You know, it's just such a special attack spam, and on top of it you keep stacking poisons and armor breaks an opponent, and it's just very fun. The thing, again, I don't know what Beyond God tier means. I do think Scorpion's very good champion. I do think Scorpion is solidly, at the very least, top 2 champion released this year so far. I do think that Scorpion and Omega Sentinel are the best 2 champions so far released this year. And I do think Scorpion is very, 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 very good champion. But when people say, you know, Beyond God tier and God tier and all that other stuff, you know, I still never understand what it means anymore, because there are like 17 different God tiers, and who knows, you know. I have no clue what you mean, aside from the fact that you know, mean good, but there's no real kind of accurate evaluation in my head of how good Beyond God tier is. Because if this community has achieved one thing, then it is absolute degradation of the meaning of God, you know, and that's coming from somebody who's not like overly religious, but just from like gaming perspective. This community has been way too generous in the usage of the word God, because we have demigod, almost demigod, super solid demigod, kind of awesome demigod, or almost god tier, special super duper god tier, beyond god tier, beyond Beyonce tier, and all that other crap. It's just way too much. You know, it just kind of feels that, you know, there's an unnecessary amount of word god in this entire enterprise. Whatever happened to, you know, champions being kind of like good, or it's just every characterization of even mediocre champions, especially on YouTube, had to include some sort of variation of god. So not that I'm trying to make like a scene of it or anything like that, and aside the fact that I actively dislike doing that, you know, dislike referring to any champions with these god titles and stuff like that, it's also the fact that it just has no meaning to me. It's just I have no clue when people say god in regards of MCOC. Surfer is one of my favorite champions. May take him to rank 4 next for and not for prestige, either him or Guardian. Yeah, I know, right? Surfer is just awesome. And he definitely surprised me in Battlegrounds so much. The longest you could make max sig helps immortality line? I don't know, I've never timed it, but quite a long time. If AI works with you, you can make it last a very long time. And it depends, you know, how long the opponent's special attack animation lasts. That's quite important. That's in fact like the most important thing. You need somebody like Captain Marvel or something. It's very quick special attacks. I really find Cersei these days very good to use. Oh yeah, Cersei has been growing on me a ton as well. I used Cersei earlier today in Incursions run as well. Cersei is seriously underestimated offensively as well. She can slap and slap hard, and her glancing effectively works like Proximon block, where you reduce opponent's ability accuracy, disable a whole bunch of nodes. Then on top of that, her shrugging off like bleed quicker, shock and incinerate quicker, I think, can be super helpful too, and heal blocks and stuff. And yeah, you know, Cersei just, I don't know, low-key is kind of increasing her significance in the game, I think. Only 2 champions, Bomb Rest and Ghost and Quake. Yeah, pretty much. Do you have a champion now you're going to give your EOP 6 stones to? No, I don't. I'm not sure. Next month's Baby Groot, is it real? I know, where do you hear it, Daniel? Hey, what's up, Mr. Noobs? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so he doesn't want to use it. It's fine. Do you think that would double dip the compensation in person take them up or not? Well, I don't know. It's up to you. If you want to try. I think you probably can double dip the compensation. I'm not 100% sure though. Would you use Mr. Sinister in defense for Battlegrounds? If I had him ranked, possibly, yeah. I do think he's quite annoying, but it would depend entirely on the meta. Like, yeah, it would depend entirely on which meta. At the very least, I would definitely try it out. Because that's kind of like the thing about Battlegrounds. There are a lot of champions that I think I want to use, but you can only use 30 champions in your deck, right? So, you know, ultimately you do kind of put in champions in deck, see how they work, if they, you know, perform decently on defense ever or not. If they don't, you swap them. And, you know, different champions work differently based on what nodes they have to work with. And the fact that in arena you want to withdraw to benefit. Well, you know, that's kind of like the entire game. You want a better roster, period. But, you know, here's the thing about the roster is your account is the total sum of all the time, money, and effort you have put in this game. And that's one of the things why I like this game. when it's not just kind of like a Counter-Strike Go, you know, you download the game and you effectively can compete with everybody, or like, you know, Mortal Kombat or something like that. I think it's, you know, important that all my past effort is validated by, you know, and it matters. And that's just how this game is made. So, you know, I don't think it's stupid that in, you know, varied game modes, your roster matters. It's, you know, very important. And gives more meaning to all the stuff that you have done in this game. So it's kind of like, you know, none of us start playing this game with, you know, insane account with, you know, X amount of 6,000, stuff like that. We all had to get them. What I find annoying is when, you know, people feel that they are entitled to everything when they haven't put in the time or effort to build up their accounts. And by that, I don't mean that I think anybody who has bigger account is somehow, you know, better or morally superior than people who don't. It's just quite literally a matter of how long you have played this game, how much effort you have put in this game. And, you know, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with playing this game more casually, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, having busy personal life and not being able to grind arenas or clear content at a super fast pace. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about feeling that you deserve everything the same, even if you don't do anything. You know what I mean? It's like you don't walk in a Starbucks when you have no money to pay for coffee and demand a coffee because somebody else bought a coffee. It's like, if you can afford a coffee, you get a coffee. If you can't, you know, you don't. Kind of similar in this game. If you have played the game for longer and you have invested more time in it, it will matter. Some things will be easier to do. Even if you get hold of a big whale account with unfair means, you can't progress or enjoy without same knowledge. Yeah, exactly. And a big part of it is also in this game that I like is, you know, exactly your knowledge, and also part of it is your skill, which is exactly why I love Battlegrounds. Because, you know, you could see very well that in Battlegrounds, the top 100 biggest accounts in the game, you know, could not get anywhere close to the top of the leaderboard for most part. The only overlap was like 3 or 5 players maybe that are in top 100 biggest accounts and top 100 Battlegrounds ratings. Most of the whales, for instance, you know, who have the best accounts in the game, can't beat the better players, even though they clearly have the roster advantage, because knowledge and skill matters in the game. But accounts do as well. Cersei needs dupe for offense? No, Cersei does not need to be duped for offense. I'll just introduce Miles Morales, Thor. I know we were unhappy about how he was written in. Marvel just introduced Miles Morales. What? I don't. What are you saying? And some lines like, I don't. What are you saying, Blizzard? Oh. No, I still didn't. But power gain is helpful, but it's, you know, not super important. Do you think you'll be able to... Okay, answer that. So Karate Mike's 4th of July predictions. 1 each, tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha for Odin, and 3 to 4 random jumps. Very reasonable at that point. Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable. Could happen for Battlegrounds. Has Professor X fallen off recently? Yeah, slightly. He definitely has. He's not super used. He's still a very good champion. It's just that he's not as frequently used. Do you have Sinister in my deck? Got him rank 3, but only pick him... I only pick him in the last 2 rounds. Oh, there you go. What are you doing, brother? Hey, what's up, Marine? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I kind of had to catch up to that chat. I'm doing fine. Just trying to earn a few units. That's about it. Have I played CSGO? No. CSGO came out after I stopped playing Counter-Strike. I used to play Counter-Strike 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. And then maybe at the very beginning Counter-Strike Go, it was one of the Counter-Strikes that had some different name, but 1.6 was pretty much the last one that I stopped playing, I think. Or maybe the one after that. Walk inside my Starbucks, spend my time in there, I want my coffee. There you go. Yeah, reading who's better, Kitty, Pride, or Ghost? Ghost. Still think Ghost is better. 2021 was all about CGR versus Herc. 2022 seemingly Kitty versus Ghost, pretty much. Enjoy my class breakdown videos. Well done. Well, thank you very much. Glad you like them. Tech one is tomorrow. Yeah, Tech one. I actually think that after these are done, I'm gonna try maybe doing the other year rankings like I did with 2021. I think it will be quite interesting. Try and do 2020 champion rankings now as well and stuff like that. You think Professor X was one of those champions like She-Hulk and Tiger, just universally useful and good because of the way they work, skill they require? I mean, Professor X is that way as well. It's just that, I don't know, there hasn't been a particularly huge need for him recently, I'd say. Thanks to you, MSD took Tiger to rank 4 as 5-star, but I can't get 100% uptime on the phase because the AI is not playing ball, being mega defensive and not throwing special attacks. Advice? Actually, that's kind of like the thing. I have never really quite had the problem there, not throwing special attacks when using Tiger, because the more you use heavy attacks... Okay, here goes. The more you use heavy attacks, typically, the more often AIs cooperate by throwing special attacks, in my experience. Again, I might be wrong on that, but for me, typically, if you get to use, like with Kingpin, it's quite frequently noticeable when you spam level 1s. Opponents often kind of get into a rhythm where, you know, they will just throw that special attack easily because you spam your own level 1. Hope that makes sense. Oh, you bastard, the waiter. She's gonna combo me now. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Tiger does need quite high sig. Tiger definitely does need quite high sig if you want to be working with the initial phases on. I had like 60 or 80 Tiger and it was like impossible to keep them on. Okay, now I just need him to put up a block. Okay, I'll be the one holding the block, it seems. Ah, you bastard. Ah, whatever. Just die. Stun a champion, no problem. Whatever, just be dead. Hey, Lord Shadow Raid, I heard you had quite an interesting stream today. How's everybody doing? What's up, XIV? What's up, Smith? Q? Shadow? Okay, so it turns out that I sort of learned a trick recently fighting Hulkling where you hit the opponent's block and tap your block twice to throw heavies. And yeah, that could help maybe too. What's up, Mike, Bad Boy, Golden Gun Gaming, Triple G. How are you doing? Also a lot of force, it seems. Well, apparently, and you know, I don't know whether this is 100% true. One of the people that joined your raid here was basically behind a lot of troll accounts. But yeah, welcome everybody who came over from Lord Shadow stream. But yeah, don't you worry. Trolls are part of the fun. What's up, Neen? How are you doing? Okay, so I have 15 rounds in this one, 3 million. I guess we can start off with the other arena a teeny tiny bit. Here we go. Thoughts on the compensation for energy problems? Get said that shit to take down the champion and whatever. I I mean, I think it's alright. I didn't actually expect virtually anything for these energy problems. So, you know, neat. You know, it's 10 energy refills, so I'll take it. Penny is the best counter for Bishop if you have her. Penny is not the best counter for Bishop. Penny is okay counter for Bishop. She's definitely not the best counter for Bishop. Mr. President in the chat? Who is the president? Who is your president, eh? It'll be fine. Ghost is an amazing counter for Bishop. Yeah, I agree. Look at that. Come on. Burn. Especially bad moderate success with Ghost. During carry Q. Yeah, Bishop is one of those champions that can always be a pain. Like in Battlegrounds as well, even if opponents do have like really good counters, you know, one bad evade or something like that, and things can turn very, very badly. Honestly, one of my personal favorite counters for Bishop, specifically in Battlegrounds, was Silver Surfer. Because, you know, let him throw that level 1, get those incinerates placed on you, and they just give you extra damage. So yeah, Silver Surfer definitely was quite clutch there. Bishop's dirty? Yeah, kind of. Don't forget to drop a like. Oh, well, thank you very much. Exactly. Do not forget to tap all the good buttons. Time to rest your backside. Absolutely understandable. Definitely know how to feels. Doc Ock. Yeah, Doc Ock can definitely work. Penny is my best counter for Bishop. She destroys him for me. There you go. Way better. I just recently came back to the contest and I'm not very confused on what Battlegrounds is and why it's factoring into your champ rankings as much as it is. It's a new game mode. Type in Battlegrounds KT1 in YouTube and you're gonna see a ton of streams of me playing Battlegrounds. Then you're gonna understand what it is. It's kind of like a new versus game mode where both players basically build a deck of 30 champions, and then you get matched against somebody, and each player gets to draft 7 champions from those 30 champion decks. Like, it gets kind of revealed randomly. First time when you pick a champion, it shows you kind of like a Nexus selection. You need to pick one of. It reveals you 3 champions out of your 30 champions in your deck, and you need to pick one. Then for next rounds, it will reveal you 5 champions out of your remaining champions in your deck, and you're gonna need to pick 2 of those. And basically, it goes back and forth, where opponent picks a champion, you pick a champion, opponent picks a champion, you pick a champion, kind of. And you both end up with 7 champions. And then you need to place your defender, and opponent places their defender. And then you need to pick your attacker, opponent picks their attacker, and then you fight. You fight against AI, obviously, but you earn a score based on how quickly you defeat your opponent's champion, how much health you have remaining, and stuff like that. And who has more points wins that round. Then it's best of 3 rounds, so it's up to 3 rounds that you get to play, basically. You know, if you win 2-0, you win 2-0. If it goes 1-1, then it goes on deciding round 3. And you kind of fight against other summoners. Honestly, it's kind of like the most important thing in what Kabam is working on right now, at the very least for me. And after having played Battlegrounds, you know, I kind of only care about Battlegrounds. I just want to play more Battlegrounds. And Kitty, yeah, Kitty is good for Bishop. Yes, true. Kitty is very safe for Bishop. like pushed in case I didn't say it like in your intro. Well, thank you very much, Lord Shadow. We're going Iron Man Infinity Rank 4 video. Nice, sweet. Can't wait to see that one, Dylan. Can't wait for that one. Chilling now. Okay, let's make another trophy champion. Who would it be? Another trophy champion? Very interesting. I think, I don't know. Galactus would be cool. Something like Galactus, maybe Zeus. White Vision, I think, would be perfect for Sigil Store, though. What do you think about the BG meta where attackers placed first? It would be a much bigger skill test. Well, that wouldn't be necessarily called meta, would it be? That would be just a change in the game mode in general. And, I mean, before I write it off, I suppose it's worth a shot. Not entirely. No, I don't think. Then it would be much more of a chess match than it would be anything else. That would be like completely different game mode, I think. Completely different like principles, stuff like that. I'm not saying, you know, it's a bad idea. I'm just, it would be way different. And yeah, and I don't think I want to call that meta, because, you know, it will be just, yeah, different game mode or different season or different version of Battlegrounds. Oh crap. Come on, there we go. Got 5 with these bad boys. Sweet. Okay, whatever. Just burn. You stupid. Scorpion is subject to balancing change, yes. Hey, what's up, Roy? What do you think of Null overall? I think he's a good champion. Kind of talked about him in my 2021 champion ranking. I do like a lot of things about him, and I also like the fact that he kind of is more like a science champion than a cosmic champion in reality, but the fact that he is a cosmic champion obviously kind of enables him to access. It just improves the overall utility that cosmic class has. In general, Null is not exactly my type of champion, in a sense. Like, you know, how he ramps up and only then you kind of enter your main beast damage dealing mode and stuff like that. At the same time, I do recognize how good he is, and as I said, he's not maybe my type of champion. I actually end up using him quite a lot in AQ. Yes, I am, and 21 for 6 to Oliver. Yeah, or you can send it to me. My email is also in the video description. It's at Thekiryu1. You can just add me by email. I'll actually update the stream description so people feel safer adding me. So if you want to add me on Evizone, you just need to enter the email that you see in the video description where it says my email. Where is that? Categories, torture 4. Oh, I need to delete this. Aha! I'll take this off for now. Me on Evizone. Add me on Evizone. Yeah, I updated now. You guys can see which email to add me on Evizone by now. So you can just send them directly to me. It's fine. Galactus would be nice as well. There you go. Collector. Yeah, Collector could be cool. I actually would like if we could earn Maestro. I think Maestro would be a very cool trophy champion. Why is Scorpion going to get changed? Nobody's saying that he is going to get changed. We're saying that he is part of the balancing program, which means Kabam could change him if he's like overperforming or something. Tactical question about Kingpin. Is it impossible to get raid charged without taking damage or using special 2? Or how do you get overpowered buffs quickly for the big damage? Realsensei Fury. I mean, you purify debuffs then. Because whenever you purify debuffs, you gain raid charges as well. Or you don't, and in order to get overpowered buff, you don't even need to purify the debuffs. You just need to have 8 debuffs on you total. Did I get the new energy compensation? Why, yes, I did indeed. 10 energy refills, few revives, few potions. Which, you know, I'm quite happy for. Didn't care for revives. Will gladly take those potions because I used a few and I was under the max capacity. And I was actually very short on energy refills, so I am quite happy with those too. So, you know, it's not like it's kind of mind-breaking compensation, but 300 units worth of energy refills, I'll take it. Or you want to play as collector? Yeah, I think it'd be quite cool. I think most of the bad champions will not get buffed. Why do you think most of the bad champions will not get buffed? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that most of the bad champions will not get buffed. What I do think, however, is that recently most of the buffs have been bad, and it doesn't matter whether, you know, Psycho Man got buffed or didn't get buffed. Psycho Man was very, very bad before the buff, and he's very, very bad still. They can buff him probably 3 more times before it's good. So, you know, eventually... you know, Kabam, given enough time, will cover vast majority of the bad champions. The problem is champions get outdated over time, and not all of their buffs are great, you know, as evident, you know. Otherwise, why buff Gamora 3 times? Why buff Ebony Maw X amount of times? Just, yeah, just because the champion gets a buff doesn't mean he's bad anymore. Like, you know, Nova got buffed, for instance. Did it change much? As high sig now has a very fast ramp up though. Yeah, when he's like super high sig, then he doesn't, you know, for, yeah, I agree with that. That is one thing that is definitely a big difference. Wonder if Electra will get buffed. Maybe, who knows? Energy compensation was good, but when there's actual, who knows? Who knows when the actual compensation drops? Hey, what's up, John? Just got up? Oh, how's your hangover? I don't care about these buffs. I really don't understand how strange still getting left out. Well, Kabam has, last year, at this exact time of the year, we already had 17 champions buffed. And they included Maulman, Kingpin, and a ton of amazing champions. This year, we have had 6.5 champions buffed, if you're being generous, and including, you know, Guillotine's regeneration rate buff, because they only literally increased Guillotine's regen rate by 1%. And then those buffs also include Psycho Man and, you know, a bunch of other irrelevant crap. So this year the buff program has been so shit. It's not even funny. Arguably the best buff this year has been what, Storm? Which is, you know, okay. Second best buff, Gamora, probably. But even that buff is kind of like not here nor there. Then there's like Yondu and Deadpool X-Force, which are still kind of shit, I think. And yeah. Oh yeah, Ebony Maw is very, very good in Battlegrounds. Mags and Kingpin by far the best buffs. Well, Mags, Kingpin, Colossus, Maulman, Diablo, a ton of great buffs. Not just those two. Do you mean to ban him? No, I meant to ban him. In order to have great champions to grind for, you also have crap ones. Yeah, I agree that you also have to have champions that you don't need. But I disagree with the idea that, you know, we need Ironmans and stuff like that in the game. You know, because realistically, we have Super Scrolls, we have plenty of champions that nobody really wants and occasionally find a use for. But I do think that every champion should be able to do at least something relatively well in the game. So I do think that, you know, all of these Captain Americas and Iron Man and Groots and stuff like that need a buff. I don't disagree that, you know, there has to be shitty champions in the game. 100%. You know, if everybody's insanely amazing, super awesome, then nothing is, and the game loses a lot of spark. Crystal openings lose a lot of intrigue and stuff like that.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, John is coming in with...
Jay's $12.23. May.
Why are you coming in with May? Hmm? $12.23 was it? I think it was 23 cents. I think so, but thank you very much. I'm gonna lie, I remember people say that the Diablo and Ebony Maw initial buff sucked ass. Well, Ebony Maw definitely initial buff. I said it myself as well. I wasn't overly impressed, but over time he kind of grew on me and a lot of people. With Diablo though, I don't think that there were many people saying that it sucks ass. Oh yeah. Didn't mean to unhide him. My bad. I didn't mean to ban him. I think based off the commentary made by Mike, whether they play a lot of the OG champions will not be significant. Yeah, I kind of figured, which is very unfortunate. Which is a very stupid argumentation because they really think that people are still using 2-stars often. And basically what they mean is if the champion exists as a 2-star, they don't want to make it a complicated kit or something. Which is stupid because nobody these days plays with 2-stars for more than half a day. You know what I mean? You can get like 4 stars in day 1. But, you know. Can inform Nick. Is Nick here? Yeah, I mean, I'll let him know, but... I mean, moderators can tag Nick in the moderator chat and let him know. Yo, did I launch that team trying to get himself out? Well, there you go. That's how your head feels. Oh, you need some paracetamol, my friend. Maw will get buffed 3 times? Yes. Oh, Nick is here. So yeah, just to let you know, Mr. Nick, apparently, as it turns out, that Umar guy, or Umer guy, or whatever his name is, that goes around creating all those spam accounts with filthy names and, you know, stuff like that. That's actually Obama's sus. So he got banned from my channel and I think Lord Shadow's channel, and probably a whole bunch of other channels. Because he's that Umer guy that makes all the spam and troll accounts. So, you know, do what you want. If you guys are buddy, then, you know, it's your channel. Just, there you go. Diablo got buffed multiple times though. Did he? Maybe one. I don't know. Right after the EQ was it? I need to. Yeah, exactly. You know. I don't really remember the first buff then. He might have. He might have. I'm gonna receive the payment for the job today. Send part with the support against armed forces. Well, I'm glad that you're doing things. I'm glad that you're active and you're facing it head on. Very good, Volodya. Okay, let's smack down the chorus. Seems like a lonely way to get your kicks, trolling. Yeah, I think it's a... And again, I do think you have to be fairly unhappy and miserable in your life to do things like that. Like, I do think you probably have quite shitty home life and home relationship, and your personal life definitely can't be looking great. You know, in my head, I kind of feel like that people who do crap like that, and especially, you know, as frequently and persistently, as in like that's their thing, are typically the people who, you know, either get bullied at school or are just extremely bad at school or don't have a very good home life. You know, maybe dad drinks a bit too much and slaps the kids around sometimes, or, you know, something of the sort, which I'm not trying to make light of at all. I'm just saying, typically, you know, whenever I do see people behaving like that, that's kind of like where my thought process goes, and that the person probably is having an absolutely miserable home life, school life, professional life. Maybe some adults are doing it, or whoever knows. You know, you have to be fairly unhappy human being to think that the best use of your time is to continuously keep creating fake YouTube accounts that, you know, you need to spend 5-10 minutes to make, that will get banned in seconds, just in order to, you know, I know what, you get some sort of kick out of it if somebody gets annoyed by you or something. So, you know, can't possibly be a happy human being if that's the choice that you make. And again, you can't respect yourself even if, you know, you do that, do you? You think that, you know, that is the best you can do with your time online. Surely, you know? Ryan banned him too, but of course he did. So it's like, oh, yeah, there you go. Maybe he has dedication. Oh yeah, definitely. And what the real Umar thinks about all this since about. Very good. This funny guy in extremes would now see who it really is. Yeah. Well, he was actually here quite frequently as well, and he didn't behave all that badly for most of the time. You know, he was having like reasonable conversations, which makes it even more kind of worrisome. Is it some sort of schizophrenia, or, you know, personality disorders, or just some other form of mental instability? Because, you know, one moment he pretends, not pretends, he behaves like, you know, a normal, reasonable human being that's perfectly capable of, you know, holding conversation, being a part of the stream. Because he was here quite frequently too. But then all of a sudden, you know, next moment, he finds the need to kind of secretly make a troll account and do that stuff. It's like, you know, somewhat worrisome, I would say. Mental instability. I doubt he can make even that excuse. I guess more trolling with other accounts while your mind pretending to be a good guy. Yeah, exactly. It's just, you know, it's sick. And something that's kind of like, I don't know, schizophrenic or, you know, psychotic disorder. Thank you, my people inspire me every day, but also difficult to witness. Deadly perils with the kill the carrying soldiers. Everyone takes a knee emotionally. God, not to burn out. Again, I can only imagine, man. You know, there's not much I can say. Because, you know, you always think of yourself in a certain way. But until you are faced with those things, kind of like yourself, it's just impossible to know what would happen, how it would happen. But man, as far as I'm concerned, you're doing amazing, Molody. So you guys are rewarding him. Well, I mean, if he calls this a reward, then, you know, here's the thing, he's a troll, but it's not like I wish him all the worst in life, stuff like that. I don't mind rewarding him if that reward has a chance to perhaps reach out to him and, you know, help him make better life decisions. You know, it's unlikely. It's not quite likely that he's going to listen to me. You know, chances are he's going to be back on some other stream 2 days later and carry on doing the same thing. But at the same time, if he still is about and listening to the things that are happening in this stream, and if there is a chance that, you know, I can make him pause and think about what he's doing and have some sort of self-reflection, then I don't mind rewarding him for that. Or what you call a reward. You know what I mean? Maybe you're right, maybe it's pointless. Maybe it's not. But in general, I have fairly kind of, I don't want to say kind, but my life has been fucked up a lot, you know. Which is, you know, a very big part of the reason why I do kind of speak about things like that as comfortably as I do, because I can relate in many aspects. I have had like many miserable days in my life. And I have done stupid things just because I was unhappy or mad at myself or felt inadequate, felt like I wasn't good enough. And, you know, I wish somebody told me these things. I wish somebody asked me to stop when I was being a dick for no reason and confronted me with those things. I would have, you know, been a better human earlier on. So, yeah. Oh, come on. Stupid lizard. Huh. How relevant do you think Corvus is in the meta today? I still find him as useful and styling plenty of times. Ignore auxiliary. I still use Corvus. I still think he definitely has place. Obviously, he has lost ground, without a doubt. He's not what he was 3 years ago, stuff like that. Part of that is the way Kabam has been scaling 6 stars compared to how they have been scaling champions that we face. Kabam specifically slowed down the increase in attack and health and PI to 6-star champions much more drastically than they did with every other star level. But they didn't slow down the increase in opponents' attack and health. Which kind of means for champions like Corvus that it's harder to use them in the same, you know, corresponding situations. Because Kabam, instead of not increasing opponents' HP a lot, went in a way where they often offer us attack boosts, you know, with nodes that increase our damage and stuff like that. Which, if Corvus can benefit from, he still holds an incredible amount of value. The problem with Corvus is that in most of the places right now, without charges, the first fight does feel like struggle. You know, if initially when Corvus first kind of came around, if you brought him in 6.1 for instance, and you had 0 charge, you could still do the first fight even with 0 charges relatively well. At the moment, if you bring in Corvus in 7.4 and there is no artificial attack bonus, you know, the first fight is going to take you more than 20 charges guaranteed. You know what I mean? So there have been some hurdles placed in front of Corvus just because of A, the way Kabam scaled 6-star champions across ranks, and B, the fact that they didn't stop increasing opponents' health pools, you know, as they otherwise would. But in order to compensate for that gap that got created bigger, they put on, you know, different nodes that give us extra attack. It's not, you know, 6-star rank 4 champion doesn't maybe have as much attack as it should be, but in, you know, story modes and more game modes, we have many nodes that compensate for the difference that Kabam didn't increase in their base stats. You kind of understand what I mean? So with Corvus, you know, it's kind of more spotted use for him, where you can't just bring him in virtually every quest and walk through everything, where you do need to pick and choose which lanes he can do, which he can't do. Versus initially, when Corvus was as dominant, you could quite literally just ignore the nodes, play with 1 HP and hit the opponent, you know, and you were gonna kill them. Can't really do that anymore. But I do still think he gets plenty of uses. Thank you, I really appreciate kind words and goodwill. 141. 2 British soldiers were expecting for fighting Ukraine. Oh yeah, I heard about those executions, man. Yeah, fucked up. Do you fancy memes about KT1 anytime soon? Because I have some. Well, this Friday we have memes about Kabam. But sure, you can send over some memes about me. Why not? I can always enjoy a good meme. My alt account. Yeah, no, everybody knew that Jimmy was your alt account anyway. If the meta in story moves away from damage boosting nodes, a lot of champions will struggle with their damage output a lot. Yes. Absolutely, Lawrence, you're right. And, you know, Kabam has designed it in such a way. Well, a lot of champions, you know, have mediocre damage output, but it's pretty much always been compensated with artificial damage increases. We don't have that many, you know, crazy good damage dealers that have come out recently. Even like Shang-Chi actually has very mediocre damage, strictly speaking. People don't realize how mediocre the damage is. Like, it's not bad, but it's definitely not great damage output. You know, for instance, I'd say probably Stealth Suit Spider-Man, I think, he'll finish fights quicker than Shang-Chi does and stuff. And that's not to rag on Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is a great champion and stuff. It really is. But yeah, a lot of people don't understand how many champions just have like damage output, comparatively speaking. Makes sense. Not anywhere near X7 yet. Course has been saving my ass. Yeah, well, there you go. Entires F from me. Well, hopefully they are funny. I took a glance at a few, but I haven't watched most of them yet. Who should I rank 3? Kingpin unduped. Shang-Chi special. He really doesn't have as great of a damage as you think he does. I can promise you that. He's special to slaps, but, you know, his base damage isn't that. And even special 2 without, you know, building up at crap ton of charges isn't great. You know, it's kind of like, you know, Guardian. Guardian doesn't have craziest damage, does he? Right? Obviously, you can build him up for 3 hours and then drop million in level 2, but that doesn't mean that he has great damage. Anyways, whom should I rank 3? Kingpin unduped, on Mallman unduped, on Nick Fury awakened. I have rank 5. 5-star maxed out Fury. I'd probably it's kind of up to you, Samir. What kind of mastery setup you run? If you run Liquid Courage double edge a lot, then Mallman. If you don't, then probably Kingpin. Probably next month's buffs are somewhat for endgame combat. Yeah, I hope to. The weird thing is, well, not the weird thing, but next month's buffs, we have no idea. For the first time in like months, we have no idea who are going to be the next month's buffs. Because all of the champions that I mentioned before about the VFX updates and stuff like that have been, you know, worked on now. So we genuinely have no idea. Come on. There you go. So it could be no buffs. Again, you can... Okay. Exactly. Shang-Chi's damage is not that great. it's not bad, by no means. It's not awful. But he's nowhere close to kind of like top percentage. Just aisles of damage dealing champions. I mean, is that funny? We'll see what you think Friday. Okay. And yeah, again, that doesn't mean that Shang-Chi isn't a great champion. Not every champion has to have absolutely insanely crazy damage output. But people have been misled with a lot of champions where they do think, you know, like people think Mr. Fantastic's damage is, you know, shit. It isn't. Mr. Fantastic actually has quite a bit of damage. It's just that he doesn't have like any specifically big yellow large number or something like that. Mr. Fantastic definitely has quite decent damage output. You know? Okay, again, what do you mean by quite fast? Without artificial damage increases on those guaranteed level 2s, his damage is not that high, I'm telling you. Like, Mole Man has way more damage. I think Kingpin probably has more damage. Black Widow Deadly Origins has way more damage than Shang-Chi does. It's just, it's one of those things. Whether overall Nebula or Black Widow Deadly Origins, I think they're very, very different champions. And I think they're both relatively similar in their overall strength. And they both have completely different allures to them, so to speak. Cool thing about Nebula, obviously, is the fact that one level 2 can nuke down, you know, huge health pools. She has great amount of immunity. She has access to power control. All of that stuff is awesome about Nebula, and only thing that they really have in common. What's the best way to say? Black Widow Deadly Origins has way more common with Black Cat, Massacre, a ton of different champions. Just because both of them can inflict shock on the opponent doesn't mean that they are similar champions that should be, you know, looked at in similar fashion. In reality, you know, Nebula has immunities, has power control, has a ton of shock damage, has ability accuracy reduction against robots. She's more similar to, I don't know, Vision Arcus or Medusa or, you know, rest of the tech class than, you know, she is to Black Widow Deadly Origins. You know, Doctor Doom does have access to shock damage, you know. You wouldn't want to kind of like compare Doctor Doom to Black Widow Deadly Origins, would you? You shouldn't either with Nebula, because again, the strong sides of Nebula lie in her immunities, in her level 2 nuke that is, you know, very kind of like massive, her power control, her ability to shut down robots. Black Widow Deadly Origins, you know, ability lies to the reason why people like Black Widow Deadly Origins is because she can access a lot of damage very early in the fight without much effort and can do shock damage. Again, valuable in roster depends for what. You know, casual questing, Black Widow Deadly Origins, way better, 100%. Alliance War, Nebula, way better, 100%. But you can ask better for what? You know, because that's always important. What do you need more? What are you trying to do in the game? Which champion is going to help you do things that you are trying to do? For instance, you know, in my personal experience, better for Act 7 exploration, Black Widow Deadly Origins. Alliance War, Nebula. Battlegrounds, both are kind of similar, but again, tasks are completely different. For better for, I don't know, more challenging content, probably Nebula. You know what I mean? For Battlegrounds, again, both of them have their uses. Nebula works very well to stop a bunch of robots. Nebula has, you know, some cheeky tricks up her sleeve with different game modes, but overall, Black Widow Deadly Origins is like a quicker KO killer with very limited defensive value. At the same time, I personally didn't use Black Widow Deadly Origins or Nebula all that much because neither one of them have much defensive utility, and I was using fairly few attackers only in my deck. And you know, for instance, I thought Starkey is better than Black Widow Deadly Origins, and you know, Ghost and CGR and stuff like that are better than Black Widow Deadly Origins offensively, and therefore I just didn't add in any of them to my deck. For VG's 99% of the time, Deadly Origins better. Disagree. Nebula also presented a ton of problems because Nebula could deal with a whole bunch of matchups that, you know, she was one of the kind of trickier counters now. Don't compare Trash to King. Compensation needs to be banned everywhere. So annoying. Oh yeah, everybody is interested in compensation, aren't they? Do you have an opinion who is the best champion in the game currently, generally? If we're counting in, you know, Quake still is in general the best champion, right? Obviously, if you're not counting champions that do not exist as 6 stars, Ghost is still the best champion, probably. You want to raid Otto or Enzo? We can go and say hello to Otto. It has been a while, so why not? Enzo is an awesome guy, but you know, Otto has a small account, so I kind of, you know, want him to do someone better. So can you drop Otto's link in the chat, please? I'm gonna tap in hashtag KTRate. Obviously Enzo is awesome. I'm gonna raid Enzo next time. Absolutely nothing bad to say about Enzo at all, but again, just know that you mean quite a lot to Otto. I have a question: if you apply an Odin pre-fight with Defiant Stacker and you still have the passive effect, you can carry the buffs. Are they lost? I have never tried that, Boris. I have never tried that. I don't know. I think you should lose your buffs. Quite sure you should lose your buffs, but I'm not sure. Either way, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna have Tech top champion ranking list as well, and hopefully some other videos. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next